Good evening, Manila. My name is David. This is the International Ecosystem Feature Hungary section. First, thank you for being here, and a special thanks for Kubo for this magnificent one-week event, and for the Hungarian Embassy in Manila who helped us to connect to Kubo. At the program today from Hungary, we will talk about Smart Hub, Startup Campus, which we are accelerators in Hungary, and we have two magnificent startups we bring to you. The first one is TrustChain and Chameleon. Let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is David Fehérvári, but just call me David, it's a little bit easier. I have 10 years experience in startup ecosystem. I had my first startup in 2010 in Southeast Asia. And also I have corporate leadership experience. Smart Hub is my dream, and Smart Hub is my company. I'm the founder. With Smart Hub, we have more than 60 plus startups in the Hungarian portfolio. And also I work with more than 20 startups as a personal advisor. Because of fundraising is one of our pillar, then in the last year that we are proud to say that $50 million we have fundraising for different startups in Hungary. But what is Smart Hub? Smart Hub is an international accelerator and sales house. If someone asks me, then this is my answer for local and outboard startups. It means that we have accelerator programs for Hungarian startups if they would like to move outboard, and we have an accelerator program for outboard startups if they would like to enter to Hungary or if they would like to taste Europe. We are a sales house because at the end someone has to sell, because revenue is the number which can measure your startup. So we have a hands-on sales service when we can win the market together with our portfolio companies. We are young and fresh, and our mindset is 50% corporate and 50% startup mindset. I think this can be the way of success. Let's see what we have. We have experience in Southeast Asia, that's why we are here. It's 7 years on field. I will go back on this. Sorry. So what we have, especially we have 7 years experience, on-field experience in Southeast Asia. That's why we are here. But Smart Hub never worked with Manila startups, and we are really open for this. This is what we are looking for. We have direct connection to C-level representatives, investors from the CE region in Europe and also in the ASEAN region. And we have high qualified experience business development, personal network, which we are very happy to present to our portfolio companies. Exactly how we are working, it's a little animation introduced that we are doing business and financial modeling together with our portfolio companies. We love GTM strategies and we like to help to the go-to-market for our startups. And we are a real goal-oriented marketing and sales package, what we can offer to you and offer to Hungarian startups. So altogether, you can see on screen, from our perspective, the hands-on support is one of our main benefits. It means that we are waking up together with our startups, we are working together our startups, and we are holding their hands during the process, during the accelerator and educated process on the market. As every accelerator, we have a business objective as well. So we are focusing on these given sectors, what you can see on the screen. We are strong in PropTech. We have several PropTech international study tours and accelerator tours. We have health tech portfolio companies, and we are really interested in fintech as well. Fintech is very popular in Hungary. We have several very good solutions. In our concept, We are usually working with seed, C plus, or Series A level startups. These companies are ready to go to international. These companies has real working solutions, have maybe a financial background, and has more knowledge about how to go out to other countries. SmartHub is standing on 3 pillars. The first pillar is fundraising from angel investors or venture capitals. As I mentioned, we have direct connection with venture capitals locally and in the ASEAN region. This might help for our startups to be financed and get the benefit to enter to any other international market. We have a special flexible marketing package. It's developed by SmartHub. It's a little bit hard to explain, but the main goal is that we can change the KPIs, we can change the acceleration. Sometimes we can go faster, sometimes we can push the brake. Depends on the life cycle of the startups and depends on the target of the startup. And last but not least, the GTM and like go-to-market is very important for us. Entering to a new market is never easy. And this is where we can help the most, I think. I bring you some numbers from Europe and from Hungary. I hope you were not boring with that, just only a few. So the startup ecosystem in Europe is absolutely on a high resolution. We have zillions of startups and there is zillions of fundraising, which can help for the startups make their dream come true. Why we are very proud in this ecosystem in Europe, as you might know that Hungary is not a big country, we are only 10 million. That means that we need to push very hard if we want to be on a chart about European startup ecosystem. And we are so proud that we can check that in the last year, we were the 8th in this ecosystem in Europe, which means that in startup fundraising and intensity in Hungary, we passed through Austria, Finland, Denmark, Italy, which are very big names in these sectors. So I think I can proudly present that there is a reason to come to Hungary. There are very high educated and high level accelerator programs where you can enter and know a little bit more about the European market. And also you can validate your product in Hungary. Just a few numbers about our investors or investments. You can see that the total funding in 2019 was 619 million euro, not bad. And also you can check the growth rate on the left side of the screen that in each sector, in seed, startup or Series A level startup sectors, the fundraising is accelerating from 2018 to 2019. How to step into the EU market? It's never easy, especially it's never easy if you are coming from so far away. It's the same difficulties when we are going to the ASEAN region and trying to understand the business models, business attitude. Also, we would like to understand that how can we sell our product or service. In the current situation, everything is digital. Of course, we cannot fly right now, so we know that a digital introduction may be the best way, and this is what I offer to you to find out the best connection, the opportunities, possible partners in the region. And this is where we can help to manage these digital introductions into the European market. The next step could be a real detailed business plan. After market researches, after this digital introduction, you might make another research online, and then you can make your value proposition more flexible into the European market. And this is where we can help too on some online courses or online trainings. Next step, I definitely offer you to subscribe to a digital accelerator program. I can offer you the SmartHub Campus digital accelerator Discover Europe program, for example, where you can get more taste about Europe, about legal, accounting, business environment. So before we are stepping on a plane, hopefully later when we can, then you will have everything in your hand how to start a GTM strategy in Europe. And the last step is come here and enjoy our fantastic ecosystem, enjoy Europe, and find your position in this business. I collected a few things that what should you pack before you start. I think EU is a not very hard, but middle hard market. There are some special requirements what they need. So make sure you have these 4 things in your packet before you start to a European market. A proven product or service is not an MVP. Maybe an MVP is not enough to go on board. It's just a real proven software or products which you can test and which is working in your area, which you can bug fix, and which you can, for example, remove from far, far away. Background is a very important part also, as financially, of course, but maybe this is the easiest to manage because of, I'm sure you have also very impulsive venture capital system. But you need to be ready about the technical background, the support background, and beware that your human resource background is ready as well, that you can manage the 2 continents on the same way. And this can help growing. And just because you are in 2 parts of the world and trying to manage business, it's not decreasing your efficiency. It's very helpful if you have some traction, if you have validation in your area, in your country, or maybe in your area in other countries. Because in Europe, the first question is that, okay, where you come from, what is your result, how much monthly recurring revenue you have right now. If you have all of these, then you are safe. And finally, let's say that you need the power, that you need your optimism and vocation, that coming here is a big challenge, and coming here is an interesting challenge. We are very happy to cooperate and help you on hands-on services, but your hard work is the main thing which would help you to stand up here. Just a few words about why Hungary, that these are, I think, definitely my advices, and based on our experiences, then this might be a perfect gateway to Europe. But why? Because our mindset is a European mindset. We are a member of the European Union, means that we have a validation market, and this validation market is accepted by other European countries like Germany, England, France, or the northern countries. I think this is a cost-effective validation location, and also we have a very, very powerful startup ecosystem which can help you create your final value proposition, business strategy, and GTM strategy. And also our venture capitals are waiting for you. In this finance and fundraising system, they are financing outward startups if they have local entity and if they would like to enter to the European market. We are in the middle somewhere in this fundraising typhoon, which means that you could have your place to find your finance here as well. And what are we doing on a business trip or in a business tour? It's not only about business. I mean that it's very important to meet with people, to get to attend to business workshops, events, but also very important to know each other. When I first met with Asia, it was totally new for me, and I didn't know how can I manage a business meeting, and what can I say, what should I say, and what shouldn't. So I think it's very important if you are here that you should go to the street, you should meet with European peoples, get close to the culture, and have fun, because it's also important. Because if you know this area, if you know these people, if you can learn them, that means that at the end of the day, they will be your customers. So if you know your customers, of course, your business will be successful. I bring you a video, and I was thinking a lot that which one, because last last year we organized a business tour in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore, and we made 2 videos. The first one was only about business. The second one was a little bit more party feeling. I choose the second one, so let me show you that how did it happen and how a Smart Hub tour is working in life. In this trip, we try to understand everything in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. We get some interaction with local food, local people, street life, which gives us a lot, and we learned a lot. Also, we were joking on the street. We had to understand what is funny, what is not. But finally we were working. We got the chance to meet with the most opportunity key players of the PropTech sector in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. So, the globe is moving, the globe is nice. You should travel around, you should meet new markets, and you should enter to other countries. And this is where we might help you. This is where we would like to help you. Just let me show you a quick summary about this trip. It was a 10-day trip with 4 PropTech startups in 2 locations, like Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, and we could also meet 30 participants from the sector on workshops. And in KL and Singapore, we had one-on-one meeting with real key players of the market, about 20 people. What we are planning to do in your region, let me give you a hint about this. Then we have a lag in Kuala Lumpur. Because of this situation right now, it's very hard to enter there, so it's paused. But in 2021, we would like to get closer to you. Then we are working in our co-working space where you are warmly welcome. We would like to manage there how to enter the EU programs, which is a 6 weeks training before you start to EU, which could validate your product and the value proposition. And also we are very happy to help in pilot opportunities or workshops and events organizing together with local accelerators whom we are working with. Why we are here in this presentation? Then startup goal is to meet with startups from your region. Contact us if you have any questions. We are very happy to answer. And also we are looking for business partners like accelerators or corporate network partners or investors to be in our portfolio. I would like to say a special thank you for your attention, and just raise your question and I'm happy to answer. Okay, meanwhile, the next section of our presentation is I would like to warmly invite Olivia. She's coming from London, directly from Startup Campus, which is the most well-known accelerator in our region.
All right, so hello everybody, and good afternoon or evening in the Philippines. For me, it's quite early in the morning. My name is Olivia Exton, and I'm the program manager of Startup Campus London. What is Startup Campus? So Startup Campus started off as an educational program for university students to basically introduce them to the perks and ups and downs and interesting things about the entrepreneurial world, and also to support them in setting up their own first startup business. And we also expanded this program to high school students as well. But more importantly, we basically created our own incubator to give a real support to all of these startups. And during this incubation period of the startups, we saw that one of the biggest issues that they are facing is when they want to expand internationally, because there is not enough and not a good enough there's not a good enough program to basically continuously support them and provide them with hands-on support also on the locations where they are aiming to expand. So this is why we set up Startup Campus Global. So what we saw with these startups when we were collaborating with them is that they don't know the answers to basic questions that sound easy, but actually it's very difficult to answer them, which are basically the when, where, and how. So when should you scale internationally? Where should you scale internationally? And how should you scale internationally? And this is why we wanted to create this kind of support for them. And what we saw is that startups are mostly failing with their international expansion is because they are unprepared. But they are not unprepared in the way of not doing their homework properly. They're unprepared because international expansion is full of hidden challenges and things that you cannot actually even plan with or that you weren't even aware of. But we broke down these key challenges into 3 parts, which is it's very risky because it requires extensive market knowledge and strategic thinking. And it also requires you to be there where you want to expand. I mean, before COVID, this was even more important to be there locally where you want to expand. Now, because of all the online things, I guess that makes things a bit easier. However, it's still important that if you want to expand to a certain country, you should have a local presence there. And more importantly, it's also expensive. Often a sales cycle that you plan for 6 months, it can end up being a year or even more than a year because of whatever reasons that came up along the way. And also what David has mentioned in his presentation is the culture and the understanding of the local people and the local business culture. What he said as well, that when he came to Asia, he had to prepare and really understand how it is, how you conduct business. It's the same if you go to Europe, for example. To give you an example, in the UK, if you say something is interesting, it can be a polite way of saying that you're actually not interested in something, which I know it sounds a bit funny. So I had quite a few startups that I went with on a conference, and they would go out, meet investors, and come back to me and say, "Hey, Olivia, it was so good. So many investors said my idea is so interesting, and they want to find out even more." But the way they actually described the whole situation, I could already see that the investor was polite. They said, "Oh, how interesting, send me your details," but they are not that interested. So this is just to give you an example of these kind of cultural differences that you might even not be aware of, but they will make a difference if you know of them. So how can we help? Startup Campus offers, through its global programs, strong local network, market knowledge, local presence, and business development support. And the key is we give you a well-planned foreign market expansion strategy. So how we organize all of our programs is around the so-called 3E framework. So in the 3E framework, we focus on the education, experience, and then expand. And the reason is because we want startups to understand what they are getting into with the education. We want them to experience this foreign market expansion in a safe environment and then only expand physically. And this is why we have created our so-called Discover Europe program, which we are organizing in Budapest, Hungary, Berlin, Germany, and London, the United Kingdom. And this Discover Europe program is focusing on the 2 E's, the educate and the experience. And the aim of this program is to give a comprehensive overview of the European ecosystem by focusing on Eastern Europe in Hungary, Central Europe in Germany, and Western Europe in the United Kingdom. But before I go into this, a bit on why should you even be interested in expanding to Europe? I mean, it's quite far away from the Philippines, and I get it. So basically Europe itself is you can also say the European Union is a single market. So most countries are in Europe in this single market. And with this single market, you can access 512 million people. More importantly, there is a Schengen zone in Europe, and you can basically travel between 26 countries without any restrictions once you have your Schengen visa. So these are things that make conducting business fairly easy in Europe if you're coming from outside of Europe, and it just makes things great in a way. So Hungary, David has mentioned quite a few things about Hungary. I very much agree with him that Hungary is a key point of easy market entry point to the EU, so the European markets and to Europe in general. It's a fairly small country, more than 10 or roughly 10 million people are living there, which makes it good because you can access the right people and get in touch with them in a fairly fast way and fairly simple way if you put the effort in. And also Hungary is very well connected in the local region. So Hungary has a strong connection with the V4 countries, V4 as in Visegrad 4 countries. This is an even stronger collaboration between these 4 countries within the European Union. So these 4 countries are Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary. And also Hungary has strong connections to the Balkan region as well. Another key point is Hungary has 9% corporate tax income, which is the lowest in the European Union. Again, a very nice thing to have. And there's also surplus in capital. Hungary and Central and Eastern Europe is the fastest growing sector when it comes to investment. So it's a great place to be right now if you're raising. And labor is affordable and highly skilled labor force is available. Key sectors would be medical, data engineering, smart city, and autonomous driving. Germany. So Germany is a very large country from a European perspective. More than 80 million people are living here. It is part of the DACH region, so the German-speaking region of Europe, which is Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. Its labor is a bit more expensive, or it is more expensive, but also a lot of great labor force available, and the key industries would be health tech, Industry 4.0, and ICT. And when it comes to the United Kingdom, it is the strongest ecosystem in Europe. London is the 3rd largest ecosystem in terms of capitals, or like in terms of cities in the world from a global perspective, and it's number 1 in Europe. Mind you, Berlin, the capital city of Germany, is number 2, so that's also quite great. But if we go back to London, the value of the London ecosystem is as big as the value of Paris and Berlin altogether. So it's a great place to be. There are a lot of competition, a lot of startups, a lot of opportunities, but it's a very fun place to be. Key sectors would be fintech, e-commerce, and health tech. And now going back to what you would get if you join our international program, Discover Europe. During the program, basically what you will do is you can expose yourself more to the European ecosystem, but more importantly, you can widen your horizon. So you can learn more about a very far away ecosystem and learn key people in their businesses, mentors, investors, accelerators, and governmental organizations. And you can boost your general understanding of these specific countries as well and the whole region overall. And you will gain valuable feedback from this region regarding your own startup, which is it's great because it's, again, a very different mentality, a very different business approach to the Southeast Asian business approach in general, I would say. So the key point here is that you will validate yourself in a minimal risk environment. So this about the structure of the program. So you will have 17 workshops, 4 personal sessions in 3 countries, and the program itself is roughly 8 weeks long. If we go into more detail and break down the program itself, so in the first 2 weeks, we focus on the preparation. This is the educational part of this, the very strong educational part of this program. So we are going to check all the promotional materials of each company. We will have a personal session on discussing their market entry strategy, and we will also provide a pitching and fundraising strategy overview and workshop. So to really have a good way of speaking to investors and also potential business partners along the way of the program. We are also providing a general European overview, and we also do an investor and partner mapping. So you have key people that you can approach along the way of the program. So after the 2 weeks of the preparation, you have 3 weeks in the different countries. So first you will virtually visit Hungary, Budapest, then Berlin, Germany, and then on the 5th week, London, the United Kingdom. So during these weeks, you have every week you start with a country-specific ecosystem webinar where you get a more detailed overview of what your opportunities and what your market and specific sectors is looking like in that particular country. Mentoring sessions and workshops will be available as well. You will meet key governmental organizations, and you can also pitch in front of local investors to get a strong feedback from their perspective. And you will also receive a personal report on, as I said, the key investors and potential business partners, but also about Hungary and how to start a business in Hungary or in Germany or in the United Kingdom. So in case you want to expand not right after the program, but maybe in a half a year, it can be a guidebook that you can go back and check, and you will have the key details about expanding and starting a business in these 3 countries. So in the last 2 weeks of the program is the follow-up period. So this is where we support each and individual company in reaching out to their potential business partners, and we also support them in drafting follow-up emails and trying to get a business meeting or a follow-on investor meeting, because the real point of this Discover Europe is to get you that first step in this local ecosystem. These are some of our partners, and as you can see, we have governmental partners and private companies as well in the program, and we also have our program running right now. I will, after this session, I will soon go and venture over to Malaysia in the sense of having the Berlin pitching session. And we are basically collaborating with MAGIC, the Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Center. We have a white label partnership with them, and the program, Discover Europe program, is running under the name Global Market Fit Program in Europe. And we have 9 participating companies right now in the program. And it's all going well, and it's fantastic to see also how these companies are understanding the European market better and better over the weeks and the upcoming weeks as well. And as I always say, that the more proactive companies are, the more they get out of it. Some of the companies are very proactive, so it's great to see how they already are negotiating partnerships and collaboration opportunities with some local startups in the region, also getting follow-on meetings with investors, as well as trying to get a business meeting with potential partners already in Hungary and in Germany. So it's very exciting. And what next? Once you have conducted the Discover Europe program, we have a so-called soft landing program, which can go from 4 to 12 months. And during these 4 to 12 months, we basically offer a good hands-on support into getting that next step of validation. So this is for companies that already have their product ready and they have enough financial and human resources to actually go forward with an international expansion. And they can basically afford to have a longer sales cycle and to actually dedicate at least one person for this international expansion. So what we do is we give a good preparation, make sure that all the materials are ready to expand to that chosen country. We also support the sales and marketing strategy to how to set it up in that particular country. We also connect with the companies with the key local governmental and various other types of organizations that can support their expansion. And we also support the companies in raising further investment. So this is a nutshell about our soft landing program. If you have more questions about Discover Europe, Startup Campus Global in general, or our soft landing program, then please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer all of your questions, and also during the Q&A session later on. So now I would also like to hand over the virtual microphone to Greg from TrustChain. I'm also very proud of them because they are part of our portfolio company from Startup Campus Incubator. So Greg, the floor is yours.
Thanks for that, Olivia. It's fun because I was about to make also Thanksgiving to you, and because back in 2017, Startup Campus was the first investor who gave trust to us, to Trust Chain, which is a funny way to say that. I mean, to getting trust for a trusted company, a trust service company. So anyway, we're very grateful for Startup Campus that they helped us on our way and have been our go-to-market strategy since 2017. In a nutshell, for example, that they helped us to validate Trust Chain in Singapore, London, and Berlin, and this gave a huge boost and help in our project development. But who we are and what we do. So Trust Chain is a secure digital contracting platform for companies. It's a technology legal innovation, or other way to say, it's a legal technology innovation, regulation technology innovation. It depends on the view of how you define a regulation technology, legal technology. So what we help to decrease the amount of time and money that companies are spending with contracting with each other and on compliance and on the way how they meet and make secure contracts with each other in case of highly risky or highly serious contracts. But I would like to show you a short video about what you should know about us, and that will tell a lot more.
Introducing the Trust Chain platform, a new online solution created by legal, IT, and financial professionals to make secure online contracting accessible to everyone. With Trust Chain, paperwork is reduced, making day-to-day business processes faster and more efficient. The platform also strengthens trust between companies with its built-in features. Create contracts without borders. You can already sign electronically with your partners in 38 countries. Join our satisfied users. Try it for free.
Actually, the video was not totally correct. We're already available in 41 countries. And that means that, for example, we'll be available in Manila as well soon, about in 2 or 3 months. And just to going back a bit, and as you see it on the video already, but I want to tell you a bit more details about what we do. So it's legal security in the digital world. This is our mission. This is our mission and vision, to help companies to be get more self-confidence in the digital world. We believe that companies need a solution to create and manage their contracts remotely and in a compliant way, because this is very important in case of the COVID times, but even without the COVID times, that we should be able to manage these kind of main important pillars of our business working to the contracts part of our everyday activities. Our mission was from the beginning that we should put together the business, legal, and financial procedures together in one platform. So this could help the way how you make your procedures more efficient. To be honest, we were just fed up with all the time and money we're spending on contracting, invoicing, custom documentation, and insurance documentation. That was a hell of paperwork without real, how to say that, business effectiveness or real success or real results, and it took much more cost that it was that would help on our way. So we said that it's time to finish this and time to build something new from the scratch. And as you should know that, for example, Trust Chain was founded by lawyers, financial, and also IT specialists. For example, I used to be a lawyer as well myself. So we put together a platform where we integrated together remote identification. It's also good for KYC and for financial services, digital contracts, document management, and to make it legally binding, we added a kind of secret sauce to it. It's called qualified electronic signatures. You should probably know the type of electronic signatures that you use in DocuSign or from other non-American providers. But if you come into the EU, you should have this kind of different kind of electronic signature. It's called qualified electronic signatures. It requires identification before to get it, and this is how we can make legally binding contracts digitally in the European Union based on EU law. And again, to show it in a short video, I just want to show you how does it work in our system, and that will help a lot to understand that how TrustChain works and what does it do and why is it so cool to use it.
We'll show you how to get your own electronic signature in just a few minutes. To obtain your own e-signature, you need a laptop, a smartphone, and internet connection. As a first step, sign up for free at app.trustchain.com and then confirm your email address. After logging in, click on the Start Identification button. Prepare your ID or passport and click Next. Download the EveroTrust app to your mobile phone. Create an account and follow the steps to identify yourself. The service is available 24/7. First, take a photo of your ID or passport so your information can be checked in the public register. The automatic face recognition will start shortly after. Hold your device in portrait orientation. Position your face inside the frame and gently move your head to complete the circle. If the face recognition was unsuccessful, you have the option to start the identification by operator in your chosen language. To complete your EveroTrust registration, confirm your email address and phone number in the EveroTrust application. You will receive a code via SMS to confirm your phone number and an email to confirm your email address. A few seconds after successful identification, your qualified electronic signature will be ready. Navigate back to the platform and click Next. Enter the email address you used to create your EveroTrust account and click Save to finalize. As a final step, sign the account linking statement that was sent to your EveroTrust app. And you can already use your e-signature anywhere, anytime. Legally authentic and safe. Valid through the European Union. TrustChain, paper-based contracts, the end of an era.
And this is why we call it legally secure or also secure contracting for companies, because it's a much more compliant way and much more compliance requirements in the EU to manage your company contracts, B2B contracts. And this is why we created TrustChain from our knowledge, what we have gained as lawyers. And how could you use it, or why is it good for you? But as we said it in the video, it's already available, for example, in 41 countries, and it will be available in Manila as well soon using your passports. And digital contracting industry is booming, and not just because of COVID, but also it has gained 511% of growing just in the last year. And for example, TrustChain as well, when we had around 150 active users in January, right now we have 2,200 SME companies from not just from Hungary, but also from Austria, Czech Republic, Bulgaria, United Kingdom, US, Estonia, and also we have some from, as I know, from Turkey and China as well. So it's a huge boost in between companies who want to manage their contracting and business relations more securely because of they're forced to be digital on an everyday usage. And just examples that most of our users are using TrustChain for HR, employment contracts, corporate legal documents, investment contracts, clinical research contracts. For example, like around 85% of Hungarian VCs are using TrustChain for investment contracts, but not just Hungarian VCs, also Czech and some Austrian VCs are using it for signing contracts above 1, 2, or 3 million euro transaction amount. Also, we have a well-known international company users like IQVIA. IQVIA is one of the biggest CRO, clinical research organization in the world. It's an American company, but the European daughter companies have to use a compliant way to manage their patient and clinical research contracts. Therefore, they're using TrustChain. And also this is why the reason, for example, we will be integrated module in Canon's Therefore system. Probably you know it and you're already using it in Manila. And my advice is how to step into the EU market has already been told by Olivia and David as well before, but I take it from a different perspective. So if you want to enter the European market, you should know the local rules. You should find a partner who will guide you through these local rules, especially in case of fintech or legal technology cases where the regulation is very strict in the EU. And this is how we can help you. TrustChain as an entry point to the European market, as we are compliant in all the member states, and we can help you to be compliant with all the European member states regulations. So take it as we are building a digital bridge between Manila and Budapest, or Manila and the European Union. And if you're looking for a help, looking for a contracting or kind of business marketplace entry point, and as a digital solution provider, call me and ask for our help. We would be happy to serve you and help you on this way. It's also a kind of go-to-market strategy, but from a different view. Just a few facts about our company. So far, we have raised 1.4 million euro. We have 18 colleagues, and we've been founded in 2017. So the team was growing pretty fast since 2019 when we launched the project. So it's a nice picture about our company. Anyway, if you have any questions, please shoot me on the Q&A session or send me an email to my email address. I would be happy to serve you into your next journey to the European market. And I would like to pass over the ball to Barnabas. He's on the stage right now. Thank you.
Manager of Chameleon Smart Home from Hungary. And first of all, thank you for the opportunity so we can be here, participate on the Philippines Startup Week. It's a great honor to be here. And what I'm going to do is first about Chameleon and later on our plans in the Southeast Asian region. What is Chameleon? We are a system-independent island, system-independent smart home expert, which not only to the weather, to the rhythm of your life, to your mood, but also to next generation systems. As a result, we get a resilient and basic infrastructure, what you can extend and modify at all times. This is Chameleon. You may hear a lot about various smart home experts. There are many on the field. You may know many in the Philippines, but what makes us unique is this, what I just said, being system independent, and that you can hook us up with all the different systems. Like, hey Siri, close the blinds. Okay. Hey Google, close the curtain. You can use many of these. You can use Amazon Alexa, you can use Loxon, you can use, and all of these you can freely hook it up with the Chameleon system. And if you wish to, you can use our own application as well to control it. Use your voice, use switches if you like those, or your voice as a command through these applications. You can integrate any future smart home systems. That's what proves and makes us future-proof for many, many years to come. What a smart home is used for is usually lighting, shading, security, with the integration of your alarm systems, probably safety, not just watching out for you as an individual, but also for natural disasters, for storms. It can close your blinds, make your house ready if the weather is going to get worse than you thought so when left your home. All of this in your absence as well. You can avoid unnecessary consumption and have, dream, and live a greener life if you are living in a smart home and in a smart city. Simply, your home is watching out for you, watching out for your consumption as well. This great feature that the broad possibilities of integration make sure that everyone wants to use different devices. Obviously, there are Apple phones in the world, there are Google Homes in the world. All of them can control their system on a way that you actually like it. And we made our software to be used very easily for anyone on a basic user level. You can adjust your Chameleon application. You can modify the same things in your Apple Home applications, in your Google Home application. All of this on a very basic user level. You can create automations, you can create scenarios, and your house will know how you actually like to live. It will learn your learn how you like to wake up. It will learn how your family like to enjoy the time at home at all times. We are not just designing the software. We are actually a hardware manufacturer as well. So we are proud to be the creators of our own hardware behind the Chameleon system. And we are proud that the installation is easy when it comes to it. Following the normal cabling topology, any electrician is capable to build a Chameleon system. Of course, it's better to be there at the planning so you can design and build a system which on the best way suits your needs. And after that, as I just said, you will be able to modify it in the software and adjust to your needs later on as well. It's totally possible that after you move in, you will need some modifications. It's a possible scenario that new inventions will come, and new inventions will be integratable using the Chameleon. Many smart homes are just simply not capable of it. Besides offering solutions for flats and houses, our main targets are residential parks and apartment complexes. For them, offering a two-layer smart home automation system, smart home system, which means that there is a global layer for the residential part, for the commonly used features such as the gates, the door phones, the all the appliances what are used by the entire community in a residential part or an apartment building. But also, you can have your own flats, individual features integrated in the whole and used separately. Obviously, each of the flat owners will have different credentials. They only can use their own flat appliances and the commonly used features if they wish so. This makes us a potential huge market player on the entire apartment complex or residential park industry. In the south region, we set foot last year thanks to Smart Hub on a trip organized by them. And we had very great negotiations with the we we have some projects which are ongoing, and we have some projects on the planning. We hope to do the same in Manila, in the Philippines. We hope to meet with accelerators. We hope to meet with investors in the real estate market, and we hope to meet with possible distribution partners. Besides our home base, Hungary, we are currently and having projects in three different countries. They are Canada, the United Kingdom, and Germany. But as I just said, projects are in planning. The planning for projects are in progress in Southeast as well. And we would be very, very happy to have the opportunity to work in the Philippines through you or with you as well. If you will have any questions regarding the market or regarding Chameleon, we will be very happy to answer them in the Q&A session which follows. Thank you.